Here is Elvis Presley.
Love me tender, love me true.
This is a voice, face, and a tune that many of us are familiar with. Elvis Presley has been gone for almost 5 decades, but his music and style continue to live on. At Endless Records in Bloomsburg, owner Nick McGaw is looking through some of the Elvis albums in his shop that he has for sale. It's a time for reflection on the king of rock and roll, as Thursday marks what would have been his 91st birthday.
He's foundational. I mean, it's the Old Testament of rock and roll. When you get down to it, you can't have anything that comes after it without Elvis. He was John Lennon's favorite singer, so there's no Beatles without Elvis. Even that movie a couple years ago shows that there's still an audience and an appetite out there for it, which is kind of remarkable, I think.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame says Elvis defined rock and roll by fusing blues, country, and gospel into a revolutionary sound. McGaw says Elvis did everything you can do in a rock and roll career.
There was a comeback, there was the retirement to Las Vegas, there was, history repeated both as tragedy and farce. There's funny things, there's great things, there's stuff that, he was slammed for being image only. Is he a musician? Is he just a pop star? These are questions that are never going to be resolved, but they started with Elvis.
Elvis Presley cranked out album after album during his more than 20-year music career. McGow says even all these years later, after Elvis passed, people still come in for his albums.
Elvis is a microcosm for the record business, where there are good Elvis records and there are bad Elvis records. And I've been selling records for almost 20 years now, and I'm pretty sure I've still never seen all of the Elvis titles that are available. I've got 2 sections of Elvis over there. There's the top shelf Elvis, and then there's Elvis in a drawer underneath.
On what era really defined Elvis's career, McGaw says it has to be the first 2 or 3 years when he was working on music with Sun Records in Memphis. He says it's an atomic blast and nothing else happens without that.
He's the king of rock and roll, right? And that doesn't mean he's the current king of rock and roll, but he's like Henry VIII or something. He's always going to be there in the history books as a foundational figure, for good and ill. And you can't get around him. You just can't.
Elvis once said, "I don't feel I'll live a long life. That's why I have to get what I can from every day." The king of rock and roll certainly did that. Justin Gick, Newswatch 16, Columbia County.